Welcome again to what you need to know on the garage, and today we'll be talking about some basic things about your tire again, even though we had started some things on tire in some previous episodes, but we're still having a lot of information on it that we need to touch on one after the other. And the first one we're going to be talking about is that information on your tire that says treadwear. And treadwear as a wear is very relative. You will see numbers and you could find 100, you could find 200, you could find format 400, 420, whatever the number may be. But what our information is telling you is that it is a relative level, or is a relative amount of time that your tire will use under controlled conditions. A tire rated to be at 400 will last twice the time a tire with 200 will be able to last for. So the higher your treadwear rating, the longer lasting your tire will be, even though several other factors come into play. And for example, if your driving style is kind of hard, or you are the kind of person that goes sideways on your car, then probably with a rear wheel or a four-wheel drive car, your tire may wear faster than it will wear on another person's car who is probably just a rear wheel drive, who goes around gently and driving modestly. So your driving habit may also affect the way or the rate at which your tread will wear on your tires. Some other things may also be factored to that. For example, the amount of load you put on that car, because the more load you put on it, the more pressure that is applied on the tires and even your engine as well. So that will be the first thing we're talking about. So the second thing we're talking about on this one is the traction grade of your tires. And when you check out on your tires, you find out in the right traction grade, and you find it from AA to A to B and C, as AA is the highest grading for your tire and C will be the lowest one, being at the bottom of the pack. So any tire that does not match up to C grade is not roadworthy at all and should not be on any cars. And traction itself is the amount of grip your car would have, and we said that it is relative. And when we're talking about relativity of it, is the fact that it was carried out in a controlled environment on asphalt, which is the normal surface of your road, and also on concrete. Definitely your car will grip better on asphalt than it will grip on concrete. But then when you're sure of this information that these tires will grip on these two surfaces, they are good to be on the road. Now the test that was carried on for your traction grading on your tire does not involve some kind of driving conditions. For example, it doesn't involve acceleration, it does not involve cornering, and it does not involve wet driving, even though all these other tests are done to make sure that your car tires behave well in several other conditions, even for the raining conditions as well. One of the things that should be avoided is hydroplaning, which is when a car gets water in between the tire surface and the surface of the road. Thereby the car tire skids on that very light layer of water, making the car lose a bit of control. But then if your tires are properly mounted and they have very good traction grading, you should have a very wonderful time driving those cars, as long as your tread are still very much intact. And the next thing we're talking about is a temperature grade. Your temperature grade of your tire is how much heat your tire can hold on to and as well dispel. What do we mean by that? As you drive along in your car, your tire is in contact with the road, rolling at some certain speed, thereby generating heat. And the tires are not able to control or to handle the amount of it that is getting to them, will definitely disintegrate. All the materials of the tire will disintegrate and the tire will lose its normal useful life. In the racing world, for example in Formula 1, they want their tires to be heated so that it gives them very good grip on the road. So when they get through the corners or they want to go fast and the acceleration, it moves very well. But those kind of tires will have very good grading for them, so that when the heat gets to them, it doesn't disintegrate their materials. And you have the temperature grade from A, which is the highest, to B and to C. And also the C tires is the lowest level that should be on any car whatsoever. But cars that are expected to do very high speed will definitely need tires that can handle heat well and dispel as much heat as possible, knowing fully well that the softer the tires, the better the grip. But when temperature rises, it can also chip off very quickly. As we round off on this, it is worthy of note that every recommendation of your tires are required to be kept for the tires to behave optimally. You should also note that the tread of your tire is the surface of it that gets on the road, And the sidewall is the part of it that you see when you look at it from the side, and each one of them are not actually the same in any ways. They are having different functions. And also let your tires be properly inflated, not overinflated or underinflated. And as long as you do this, thereby keeping your tires well, your tires will do well for you as well. Thank you very much and be safe.